Today I want to talk about why 92% of good ideas die in just 72 hours and how can we beat the clock. So 72 hours is just a merely 3 days from good idea to death of an idea. So how many of you're in a meeting or you get pulled into these workshops, right? And someone throws out a game-changing idea. Almost like the mic drop. You're like, holy smokes, that's awesome. Heads are nodding, people say, that's brilliant. It gets scribbled on a whiteboard, or maybe we do a whole whiteboarding session on it, right? But then we get to 3 days later, and you don't hear anything about this idea. You don't hear anything actually at all. Sometimes you don't even hear anything about the workshop itself, right? The ideas, they're dead on arrival. And guess what? Science backs this up. Hi, I'm Jennifer. I'm a coach and consultant helping high achievers elevate their performance and build resilience, emotional intelligence, and performance clarity in the moments that matter most. So, I've been in a lot of workshops lately. Actually, I hate getting invited to workshops lately because they are a time suck. I don't know if many of you guys can relate, but you get called in or you get this calendar invite for 3 days. Sometimes you have to travel, sometimes you don't. And you're stuck in a room with a bunch of people and talking about things that never move forward, right? So you already know this is probably not going to go anywhere anyway. So you just kind of walk in with not an optimistic view. So I was interested in, is there any science behind this? Because it's not just, at one company. I've seen this happen at many different companies. And I've also seen it happen in some of my own personal business endeavors where we have a great idea and then nothing ever happens, right? You have these fancy PowerPoints or these fancy whiteboard sessions that have a lot of scribble and nobody could even read what we wrote, right? Or you got the mural boards that everyone collaborated on. I don't even know where half of those are. I would love to go look back and see what kind of ideas we generated because we never talk about them anymore. So believe it or not, there is a 72-hour death window for ideas. Who would have thought, right? A comprehensive study published in the Journal of Implementation Science, they tracked 1,200 strategic initiatives across Fortune 500 companies. What was the verdict here? 92% of good ideas, they die within 72 hours if no immediate action is taken, right? So that's the linchpin here. It's not because they were bad ideas, it's because nothing happened fast enough to give them oxygen. When teams did take immediate action and immediate action protocols, think quick decisions, first steps, visible momentum, the project completion rates shot up by 340%. Wow, right? That's a lot of percentage points here, going from 0 to hero, potentially on a great idea, right? That's just not a small bump. That's the difference between ideas that collect dust or never happen and ideas that change companies completely. So why does the brain quit after 3 days? This is all a biology thing. So messed up, right? This isn't just about a corporate process, it is our human biology, believe it or not. Stanford neuroscience research shows that the brain's motivation centers, they begin to decline after 72 hours without concrete progress. So what does that mean? Every day you wait, really every hour you wait, your brain files that great idea in the back of their memory under maybe later. Maybe we'll take a look at it later. And guess what? Later rarely ever comes. Most of the time it never comes. So let's look at some lessons from Amazon and Google, right? We hear about how innovative they are. They're moving forward. They always have new products, new services, all of this stuff, right? They know this 72-hour rule. The world's top innovators, they institutionalized this principle because they know biology or because they looked into it. And now you know. So Jeff Bezos is famously pushed for a disagree and commit policy. It requires decisions within 72 hours to maintain Amazon's competitive velocity. And Google, their teams are equally obsessed with fast iteration. Test, tweak, move. Love it, right? The faster they act, the more ideas actually survive. So what does this mean for you? It means that don't wait for perfect. I think this can come back to even those of us that are maybe trying to start small businesses, trying to start side hustles, trying to maybe start a YouTube channel, right? And we're waiting for perfect. We're waiting for perfect scripts, the lighting, we need a camera, we need all this stuff. But, right? Take one concrete step. Send the email, sketch out the plan, write the script, make the call, right? Set a 72-hour rule. If it's worth doing and it's something that you're excited about, something must move forward within 3 days. And I know that that is true from a lot of the initiatives that I have tried to move forward with, a lot of the things that I've disappointed myself in, especially with building a small business and doing some of the idea tasks that I would like to do. Things are just dying because I'm not reactive enough. And you need to create some visible wins, even if it's small deliverables. It tricks your brain into staying engaged. Small email, or just an outline, or a sketch on a notepad in your journal. It keeps your brain moving forward. And I can say that when I don't immediately start to work on something and move things forward, I might as well just throw them in the trash. Because ideas don't fail in boardrooms, or they don't fail in our personal lives. They fail because they're just waiting. They're just sitting there on the shelf, hanging out, collecting dust, like an old book or a book that we bought on Amazon that we thought was a great idea and then we never even opened. How many of you guys have that? I know I have a lot of books that I got them and for whatever reason, I just either lost interest in the topic or couldn't get to it. And it's probably still sitting there on my bookshelf, right? So the bottom line here is this. If you want to be the person, right? You want to shine, you want to be the team, or you want to be that entrepreneur that's starting something big, and you're known for making things happen. Adopt the 72-hour rule. Move fast, create momentum, and don't let great ideas die before they even start breathing. So turn chaos into clarity in 72 hours or less. Every week I share the clear method strategies in my newsletters, on many of these videos. I also have a podcast as well, and I have a website where I can help with coaching and consulting in this area. So I like to help ambitious professionals cut through the noise, navigate conflict with confidence, and act on big ideas before 72 hours, before that clock runs out. So subscribe to my newsletter, my blog, on my website, or follow me on YouTube. I would greatly appreciate it. So I hope you got something out of this. Remember, keep your ideas sharp, do something about them in 72 hours, and share this video, like, subscribe, and we'll see y'all next time.